like when I first got out, there was times where I was like, man, I want to go back in. I'm bored. I never really cared, as long as I had a little bit of money, I didn't really care what was going on. I was like, all I did was drink. The only thing that sucked was slowing down. Like when I got out, I guess that's where the drinking come from, but when we were in, we were always traveling, always going somewhere, always on go. When we come back from deployment or whatever, it was like, okay, we're going to the bars, we're going to go do this, we're going somewhere, we're doing something. We're not just staying, stationary. So when I got out, not only was I not doing that, but I didn't have, the money to just go travel everywhere. So what I do, I was just going out and drinking every weekend. But I didn't really care about anything. I was 24 years old, living at home, not really looking back like, you should have more right now, but I didn't care. Yeah. Well, we had plenty of shitty times. The only thing was we was doing it together.
This is Alone and Unafraid. This episode is brought to you by Cadence Wealth Partners. They come from our community. They're legit. Visit financeforvets.com. That's finance, the number 4 vets.com to start a conversation today. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Break yourself, fool!
This episode is brought to you by Polestar Coffee. Head over to polestarcoffee.com, grab a bag, use offer code ALONE at checkout, and taste the difference. polestarcoffee.com. Welcome back to Alone and Unafraid, where we explore the intersections of everyday life, mental health, and mindset with ordinary people who have or are now facing incredible challenges. My name is Thad King, and I'm your host. Hey, but we're talking today with Keith Roach. Keith, everybody just calls you Roach.
That's not true. Most people call him Moonface.
Moonface?
Yeah, only the people that matter.
Well, I want to hear what's the thing behind Moonface. I want to hear that, but before we get into it, Keith served in the 160th as a Chinook crew chief and repair 15 uniform. Did his entire tour there in 3rd Battalion, 160th SOAR, which most people know Tyler and I both came from 3rd Battalion as well. Now he's a corrections officer at Alabama Department of Corrections. Roach, a.k.a. Moonface, welcome, man.
Appreciate it. Moonface.
Hey,
so what's the deal with Moonface?
Yeah. What was that
Take
show?
it
The
away.
Mighty Boosh. Yeah, the Mighty Boosh.
I want to know how you remember it.
There's the moon. It's a guy has shaving cream all over his face or something. And one night I did that to myself. Come downstairs and was like, "I'm going to call me Moonface." I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, so we were saying, because you were living at my house at the time, I think, right? And Katie had just moved in. Yeah. And we said something about Moonface, and I think it's in reference to an episode from The Office. And one of the guys was calling somebody a Moonface, which meant he was really stupid, like maybe extra chromosome stupid. And then Moonface overheard it, and he's like, "That's my name. I'm Moonface." And we're like, "Nah, man, that's not the name you want. You don't want to be Moonface." He's like, "Fuck yeah, I want to be Moonface." And we're like, "Okay, buddy." And then from there on out, he wanted to call himself that. And then we showed him the clip where the guy was basically calling the dude retarded.
Ain't been able to live that one down.
Nope.
Well, all right. Yeah. So Moonface it is. You guys had some cool missions. We were talking about the Kajacki Wine Mixer.
Yeah.
Which by the way, we really should do the t-shirts for that, because Jeremy Tomlin bought a Polestar shirt, and he texted me. He's like, he brought like a. Do you have tank tops, or did he just make a Polestar tank top?
Yeah, you can. So I have access to like basically any cut of shirt ever, and then print it on. I think I did get Katie some tank tops. So yeah, I can get
some tube tops.
I'll get you
Yeah.
a tube top.
Yeah.
He got a tank top, or maybe he made it a tank top.
I think he cut it. He just wore a regular t-shirt.
We're going to Talladega or at the end of the month, so I'm gonna need something really redneck and gay to wear.
Isn't that probably your whole wardrobe?
Yeah, some cut off jean shorts. Yeah.
Yep. I got some flexi jorts.
Did you guys ever do a mission into Talladega? Like, we hit Talladega as a target.
I never got to do that or any of that stuff. I think
Like the NASCAR infills.
Yeah, I think the only one I know is I think Stewie did it. That was
Yep.
it.
Well, we did it like not during NASCAR, like as a target at like 3 a.m, like
Oh,
hell yeah.
on the like the parking lot in front of the track.
Coolest thing I did was go to Gainesville to the stadium, and we went there. We just flew there to eat.
Are you you're a Gators fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're originally from technically California,
Yeah.
but you grew up in Mississippi. You live in northern Alabama, and you're a Gators fan.
That's it.
So how do you?
I hate all the states.
Because I mean, that's for the folks that don't understand this. Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and Florida are really the core of the SEC, the Southeast Conference, in college
got
football.
the most teams. All you have after that's like little ones.
Yeah, like Tennessee's got 2, Vandy and Tennessee, and then
They suck.
Missouri.
They suck.
Yeah, and then Georgia's got Georgia.
Georgia has Georgia?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They don't have
That's
Georgia
so
Tech.
Weird. Yeah, Georgia Tech's in the ACC.
I was actually there. I think I was in Savannah the year that Florida lost to. I think it was either Statesboro or no. What's that?
Georgia Southern, probably.
Yeah,
Was it Georgia Southern?
Yeah, them. We lost to them. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, Georgia Southern sometimes has a decent team. I don't think they're Division I. I just don't know what they.
We shouldn't have lost.
I have no idea what conference they're in.
Do you yell at the TV when your team loses, Moonface?
Yeah.
Yeah, you throw shit. You get all upset. Are you
I don't
upset
throw
for like
nothing.
the following
Hell,
day?
I'll yell at people too. I don't throw anything. That is one thing I don't do. I'm not going to damage my own shit just because
Yeah,
but I will get mad.
that.
Well, what but you're a corrections officer, right, in Alabama?
Yeah.
What's being a corrections officer like? Because my father-in-law was a career corrections officer in New York State, and are you at a medium security or a max or what?
I'm assigned to a work release, which is like is nothing. I mean, you got dope heads, but we don't have sex offenders, we don't have rapists, we don't have any of your like hard. We have people that's in for murder, but nothing that's like real crazy. If they're not supposed to be in public, they can't come to us.
Okay, is it like a farm type situation?
No, it's in the middle of a town. We just around here we got a bunch of trailer plants, so that's where we work them. We actually, the place I work at's I think the number 1 in the state as far as like income coming in from inmates, because they take like 40% of everything an inmate makes.
The state does?
Yeah.
Huh. Does that just go back into the prison or whatever to pay for it?
I'm sure. I don't know. Heck, it probably goes in somebody's pocket. Don't go in mine. I told him, I said, if y'all let me get commission off this, I'll make sure these guys get good jobs.
Yeah, my father-in-law, he worked at it was like a medium security, but they had like one block that was like a max, like a S block, I think is what they called it. And or was it the shoe? The shoe is like the special housing unit for all the all the child pedophiles and the people that can't be in Gen Pop because they'll get murdered. But what? Yeah, I don't know if it's like this in
Mitchell.
What's that?
Hey, what was it? Was it Mitchell? He always said, "I'm from Sing Sing." I went to Sing Sing.
He worked at Sing Sing. My father-in-law worked there at I think in New York State penitentiaries, if you're a CO or a corrections officer, you have to start out in Sing Sing or the other. What's the other real infamous one in New York? Attica. they had the big uprising in like the 70s. You guys ever seen that movie about Attica?
Natural Born Killers?
Yeah. Was that?
I have no idea.
That was the guy from Woody Harrelson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that is it Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey are brothers?
Oh, I have no idea.
One of them...
They ain't brothers.
No, some of them... Woody Harrelson is like half brothers with some guy. Some other famous guy. Or like, Bill Burr. You guys know that guy, the comedian? Oh, yeah. He is half brothers with Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. Like, they didn't know that their dad was running around and had two families.
Perfect line.
And I'm pretty sure Woody Harrelson, it's supposedly it's Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson are like half brothers.
What?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's like official, but
it says Woody Harrelson revealed proof that he and Matthew McConaughey are related amid DNA test hopes.
Oh, so they don't know yet. You met Matthew McConaughey?
Met Woody Harrelson in a bar in Louisiana.
Yeah. Oh, was he cool or what?
Oh, yeah, he was cool. And it was weird because, he's old. And it was a college bar full of, 20
college girls?
Probably 18 to 25-year-old girls. And that's all he was, focused on. Of course, he's like, I love your accent. Where are you from?
Were you like, we're in Louisiana, dude.
These are all my cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm part French.
Louisiana. Have you guys ever been to like Lafayette, Louisiana, or like the Arcadia?
Nope. I've been to Lafayette. I went to a bar there by myself.
Listen, it is the most partying town I've ever been to, and right off they have University of Louisiana at Lafayette, and they like. It might not be this way now, but in the late, I guess this had to be after September 11th, so like early 2000s. They had like a neighborhood beside the college, like normal like ranch style houses, and each house was like a bar, had all these house parties, but they were like legally clubs, but they were in residential houses. It was the craziest, strangest thing I've ever seen. I don't know if it's like that
odd
now.
Law loophole thing.
Yeah, it was, or maybe it was just a bunch of house parties. I mean, it was a good time. I mean, I was.
Oh yeah, one I went to was like a warehouse. It looked like just had some chairs, tables, and a bar.
Yeah,
band playing. Like, here you go.
Yeah, we had stopped. I was back then. I was an Army diver, and we drove from Newport News, Fort Eustis, all the way to South Padre Island, Texas. And I think our first stop was in Atlanta, and then we stopped in Lafayette, and then we drove on to South Padre Island, Texas. And then I got on a Coast Guard cutter, and we went up the intercoastal waterway from the Mexico border all the way like past Corpus Christi. Stop, those like channel markers? You guys know what I'm talking about? Like the little green triangles and red.
Yeah.
Every channel marker has a battery, like a car battery on there to run this is before solar power. And the Coast Guard dudes would just go out there and take the batteries and change them out and throw the old batteries overboard, like in the water. and so like, they'd been doing it for years. And like, so the EPA or whatever was like, hey, Coast Guard, you guys got to clean all this shit up. And the Coast Guard does have divers, but not a lot. So it was a joint Army, Navy, and Coast Guard thing. And we like lived on this Coast Guard cutter, and literally we'd have a Zodiac, and one crew was on the cutter, the other crew would drive up on the Zodiac, and we would just like dive down and like feel around for batteries, old car batteries. We'd find a couple and bring them up. And like, the channel markers are like every, mile apart. They're not far apart. And I mean, it was kind of brutal, but it has nothing to do with anything.
If you
I
had
don't
to
know,
guess,
fuck ton.
like hundreds, thousands.
Probably not thousands. A lot of them we just couldn't find. I mean, they were probably buried in like
Enough to
2
give you
feet
cancer.
of mud. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, everybody in the military
is going to get cancer.
Yeah, you've been
Yeah.
exposed to so many, especially as mechanics too. You know, I used to check the oil on the transmission with my fingers. You know, and
You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, that's really bad.
I don't
Who
know.
was it?
The jury's still
Remember
out.
Matt
on all that.
Lehner?
Yeah.
He, I think it was me, him, and Reynolds. We was changing out a the bomb they called it.
375-inch accumulator.
We forgot to
Depressurize that fucking thing. I remember.
Well, we depressurized it or something. We forgot. But anyway,
the pre-charge.
When we take it off, we tilted it, and it just went all over Matt Maynard.
Oh, hydraulic fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that is not good for you.
Shoot, I took a bath in JP8.
Yeah, you
was
did.
on that bird, wasn't you?
I was doing. I wasn't doing your training at that time. We were
Julio
training
was.
together. Yep, and we were doing FARP, and he's running out the gas hoses, and he fills them up, gets down to the end, does the bucket, and then he goes back for a leak check, finds a line that's leaking. And when he goes, and those things are supposed to shut off. Like there's when you connect them, I'm sure you fucked with them, but they have like a little shut off, and you can't disconnect them unless they're shut off. But he somehow figured out a way to not fully shut it off and then disconnect it. And I was sitting on the ramp watching under NVGs, and I see him like pull the hose apart, and he goes to toss it over his head, and it's just fucking spray at JP8, like a fountain of it, like, and it goes like over his head and like lands behind him, and there's just fucking JP8 spraying all over him. So you'll be dead soon.
Yeah.
Not good.
That's not good.
Yeah, I have cancer. I had to change in the aircraft.
Yeah.
Dude, the Marine Corps.
I thought, did I pass?
The Marines, have you ever seen like the 53 crews? The CH-53s or maybe Navy has MH-53s. Those guys will be covered in hydraulic fluid. Like I did a mission with these 53s, and we were waiting in our logger site, and I went to talk to their flight lead or whatever, and I walk in the back of the ramp, and I asked the crew chief to give me a plug, ICS plug, and I'm like sliding all over the back of the 53, like there's hydraulic fluid all over the ramp, all in the cabin back there, and I'm like, hey, you guys got a major hydraulic leak back here, and the guy's like, oh, that's normal for a 53, and I'm like, are you sure? Like, I'm like can barely keep my footing. He's like, no, that's normal, and those 53 crew chiefs, if you like were smoking a cigarette and like flicked an ash by them, they'd just burst into flames. Not good. Not healthy.
Shit's so bad for you.
Yeah, hydraulic fluid, engine oil, like all that stuff. Your skin is your biggest organ.
It's basically a dry tongue.
Yeah, and you're just absorbing all
wet
that.
it with fuel.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to siphon gas to put in my go-kart, and I would like end up eating like, a quart of 87 gas,
That's why I always tried to use a clear hose.
Yeah.
Like, give me a clear hose.
You siphoned some gas?
Well, yeah, and I went and bought one, and I'm thinking the old way, like you gotta like put your mouth a bird, get it going, but it comes with a little
pump,
squeeze pump. That's what this is for.
I don't have to drink this shit anymore.
Yeah. Just put your finger over the one end of the hose and let it pile up.
Yeah, at Harbor Freight they have a battery operated one now. It takes like D-cell batteries, and that's what I use now. So what's going on in the world of like? Are you out there with like a shotgun while they're working or something, or like a chain gang, or are they like actually working at a store?
Oh no, they go to our actual jobs. Like we have work release, and then we have like the minimum custody, as we like to call them. But the work release, they wear clothes like this. They go to regular work, get paid regular pay. They just have to come back to us each night. Then the minimums, they go out on squads, but they're not like watched with weapons or nothing like that. No, we don't have to carry any for these guys. It's
Yeah,
actually, if one escapes, we can't even shoot them unless they're like trying to seriously injure somebody.
Right.
oh,
So you said you're assigned to that, but you're also on the CERT team, and
Yeah,
that's like an
certain
extra
teams.
duty kind of.
No, that's a whole new animal. That's it's like the SWAT team for police. It's the Correctional Emergency Response Team is what it's called. And like what I did
okay.
yesterday or last night, we get called to all these every prison in the state, any kind of emergency, or like the one thing I went to the other day was they had a whole dorm that didn't want to lock down, and I think supposedly the inmate stole the dude's baton and beat him with it, and all this stuff, and then so we went the next day and kind of showed them who was really in charge. But about a year ago, we had to go to a prison because they had a gun in the prison. Like we actually went in with one of the county SWAT teams, and we found the gun. But it
What
was
kind of
that was
gun
a
was it?
I was still kind of new then.
I wonder if it's like a 22 or like because I mean, how did they
It
smuggle
was
a
a
gun
pistol.
in?
I'm wanting to say no, it was either a 9 millimeter or a 45.
Dang, how did they get it in there?
They'll get people to throw it over the fences. They'll have officers bring it in. I mean, you got corrupt people. I mean,
Yeah,
it's it's bad.
those a lot of those female like a lot of jails have female guards at male prisons, and
Yes,
then
and
the
that's a big
female
issue.
yeah
To
the
me, it
female
is.
ends up getting like some of them get pregnant, some of them like
Oh yeah, we've
um,
had two that I where I work at that ended up marrying inmates. Like they were talking to them, and then they quit, and then these inmates got out and they married them. And
I
one of
mean
them's still in the
somebody for
prison.
everybody.
Like it's
Dang.
you never hear that men going to a female facility and getting caught up because by these females, but you hear it all the time. Going females going to a male facility, and it just they tell them they're pretty or whatever, and then it just goes from there.
Yeah, I my father-in-law he was in New York, and I got to go to jail. I went to prison with him, and I got to actually go like in where he was in the medium security part, and that part was like open bay
Yeah,
barracks,
that's how
like
ours
just
is.
just bunk beds. But they had like a commissary and had a little kitchen place, and but in the little corrections officer office, they had like a big board in there that had everybody's names and then what their offense was and the date that they got incarcerated. And this was probably this had to be like 2000, 2001, maybe. It was before. It was definitely before. It might have been right after September 11th, but somewhere early 2000s. And some of those guys had been in prison since like 1956. Like
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
you got. I
it
mean,
it,
they're
it it would be they were in there for murder, and they had some guys that were like just like on TV that were definitely like light in the loafers. You know what I mean? Like they would like acted like women and like pressed their
oh yeah,
tried to
we
wear
call them
makeup
sissies.
and yeah, and they were like,
Now you
yeah,
got transgenders; they can like label themselves as that, and all. It's different.
it's it's so strange, like, and I was asking my father-in-law, I was like, are these guys like really homosexual, or are they just dudes that have been in so long that, and he's like, some of these dudes aren't really gay,
Some of them,
they
it's just the way
just,
they survive.
yeah, it's just how they survive and they're living, and like um
Because
and
you got some that do that, and then they get out and they act like they're this macho dude. It's like, dude, like I know you was in prison, like you was a girl, you was a
yeah,
boy, as they call it.
yeah. Yeah, that whole thing is just it's so strange to me that, you know, how that is. And then they had uh like a max S block, I think they called it. It was like a maximum security. And those dudes lived in their own, they had like an actual cell, and they were locked down all the time, and they could only go out in the yard like
Mm-hmm.
for a couple hours or something a day.
That's
But
part of the prison. What's going on at prisons today is the understaffing of it. They can't let it run like it normally would. So you get all these guys that are like just locked down all the time that normally wouldn't be, and it just causes problems. But it's
yeah,
just staffing and the type of people you get nowadays is just not the same kind of person that you get in a prison now.
yeah. My son-in-law just started out as a corrections officer in Chatham County in Savannah, and he was like not even. I guess he just finished up his like onboarding or like welcome to the force training,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Hey, get in the jail!" Like we like
Throw you to the
he
wolves.
yeah, like he hasn't even gone to the academy yet, but he's probably working in like, I mean, it's a county jail, so it's not, I'm sure there's bad dudes in there, um, but he kind of just jumped right in, and yeah, the whole prison thing is weird. When I was a private, most people don't know this, but I used to be a combat documentation and production specialist. It's
That
a
means he took pictures.
combat camera.
Yeah, he was.
And,
a
They even have that
yeah.
now.
Yeah, man, it's like a thing. And this was in the 90s. And the school for it was at Pensacola Naval Air Station. Well,
Nice.
most people don't know that there is a federal prison camp on the air station.
Mhm.
And and here's the fucked up part is like we would go to the chow hall and eat, right? And then the federal inmates would come behind us and eat in the same chow hall, like at a different table, a different section. And
Same
then
food.
the same food. And then the worst part was when you were in the Navy, they call it casual status. It's like a holdover or hold under or whatever you want to call it. When you're waiting to class up, they would just send you out on details. And a lot of times you'd get like landscaping detail or whatever. And like I had to get a detail. One of mine was I had to deliver toilet paper to all the barracks and all the buildings bathrooms, and I had a John Deere Gator, and I would drive this Gator over to this shack, and one of the federal prisoners was like my boss, and here I am, like I'm a PFC in the army, and I'm taking orders from a federal inmate. I mean, the guy was cool as shit. He probably some white collar crime dude, but he had like the tan 2-piece, suit and like this like bedroom slippers for shoes,
Yeah, like
and
slides.
yeah, like slides. And he would tell me like, okay, go to this building, drop this off. And I was taking orders from a prisoner and eating in the chow hall with prisoners.
So heck, he come in telling you to do something that you didn't even know you was really doing wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I was a private. I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Have you ever seen the boxes of food that gets delivered to the army?
Say
Like,
like
the
not
kitchen?
for human consumption or something.
No, it says for prisons or military on it.
Yeah, consumption
Does it-
only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and prisons is listed first. Like you are still a second-rate citizen to prisoners.
Yeah, that's
In that order.
wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like this is for prisons, and if the prisoners don't want it, please go ahead and maybe deposit this on a military base.
Yep.
Do you see like when is prison effective? I mean, have you seen, is it working?
I mean, it does for some. For some, it's just where they thrive. They get so institutionalized, like they can't make it nowhere else. Like you got people that's in the prison system that they make more money in the prison system than they do if they get to go home. Because you get a lot of the people we get are repeat offenders or brand new people that's never even seen prison. So they have this idea of where we're at is prison, and that's not the case. Like,
Oh, because your work release.
yeah, this is like a walk in the park.
Yeah.
You go to real prison, it's you don't have COs or anybody walking around checking on you like you do where we're at. You go somewhere else, it's survival of the fittest. I mean, that's just you're gonna have to fight or give your ass up. That's really your two options.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a white guy in Alabama in prison, because it's predominantly blacks that are in prison.
Do they do the whole race thing where they say you have to get in this car or that car? Have you seen that guy on social media, Ian Brick or Blick? Have you seen that
Is
guy?
that big dude?
No, he's like this little wormy looking dude with glasses, and he has a whole
Mhm.
podcast about he was in prison for fraud, and he has a whole podcast where he basically interviews people that were in prison or guys he was in with, and some of the stuff they say is like it's scary stuff. But his name is like Ian Brick
If it was
Blix
more even,
Ian Bick.
I would say it would
Bick.
be like that,
Yeah.
But with how, like, you got these people that are part of like the White Brotherhood or Aryan Brotherhood, whatever they call themselves these days. You'll have people that they're active when they're out of prison, but when they go into prison, they're not as active because they'll get beat up, and it's usually dope heads that are like that. You don't see like big gangbangers that are like in charge of stuff that are white. It's majorities, Bloods, Crips, stuff like that. And nowadays, like your Bloods and Crips ain't even like you have those which are better structured, but you have these different gangs that are just sets, which is like a street. Like you got a certain street that you live on, like we're Elm Street Crips or whatever. Those guys are
Okay.
like young dudes, and they're the more dangerous because they're harder to control.
Yeah. That whole where they sent all those prisoners to, I think it was El Salvador, to that super prison down there. But
Yeah.
apparently there was a guy from Maryland that was like wrongfully sent there. But if you guys did you see that story?
Yeah, I heard a little bit. I didn't read it, but I heard a
Is that
little
where
bit
they're
about
making
it.
them walk, like bent over?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a video on that, and I was like,
They
that's how we
shave
need to
their
run our
heads.
prisons.
Yeah, they shave their
Right.
heads. But that guy, they were like, yeah, it was. I guess it was an administrative error, but then like you kind of continue to read the story, and it's not like this guy was like a poster child. Like there's something going on there. I mean,
Right.
the government screwed up. I guess he wasn't supposed to be sent, but he was still a criminal. But it was something
Now
like
he's just doing hard time in a really, really
Well,
shitty place.
they said that if he gets sent there, they'll kill him,
Yeah.
and that's why they weren't going to send him. Like he was still doing something illegal, and I don't remember what it was, but you could look on the internet.
That's a problem, and I think in all prisons is you get people that get sentenced to 5 years, 10 years, whatever, for something that ain't really that hard, and they put them in the same dorm or whatever as people that are life without parole. You're
Yeah,
gonna
so
be in
those
this
guys got
cell.
nothing to lose.
Exactly, and then that guy, basically his 5 to 10 years, he learns gets this like life without mentality. Then he gets out, and he's still like that. And it hurts the person. But that's just it's so overcrowded. You can't send them, where you should. But
Yeah,
it's one of them like throw away the key things. They send them in there. If you get out, man, you get out.
I think my worst thing about going to prison is I'm in a cell and I've got to take a dump with another dude, like just basic training style, like he's just looking at me and I'm like, and it's not taking a dump in front of somebody. It's when you got to wipe in front of somebody. That's your most vulnerable.
Yeah, I watched the
He's
video.
judging you. It's like, that's too many wipes. You use a lot of toilet paper. You're not using enough toilet paper.
Exactly.
Like, do you stand up or do you like lean to the side?
Yeah,
I watched a
worst
video.
case scenario.
Dude did that. He was like, which I didn't understand it at first, and then I was like, that could make sense. I guess it was a dude that got to the cell, and he was like, hey, he's doing hard time, and the guy that was in the cell, he was getting ready to get out in like 2 years, and he's like, look, we're going to establish some rules, and one of the rules was when you pee, you sit down. And dude was like, why? And he's like, this is going to be my home for the next 30 years. He's like, if you pee in the toilet, that stuff's going to splash everywhere onto my shit. He's like, you sit down, it doesn't. I was like, because at first I was like, you trying to make him a bitch. But I guess, he's like, no, we're all going to do that because it's cleaner that way. Because there is no toilet lids. It's just all you can do is flush the toilet. That's it.
Yeah. It's those like stainless steel
and
like
it's
toilets.
mounted to the wall, so
Yeah.
you can't like move it.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it don't do crime.
Yeah, but I will say, working in prisons, like that's where my stability started. I think 2018 is when I started, and that's really like when I was actually fully stable from being outside the military. And I got out in 2012.
Oh, so yeah, so how was the journey? How was it getting out of the army? Like what were you doing in that 6 years?
Well, I got out in 2012. I think it was July. It was kind of abrupt because I moved out of his house and then I was gone. I was gone, but I had signed up for school before I got out. I didn't think I was going to start so soon. Well, I started school August 9th, I think, 2012. So I had to like have everything, basically moved by then. So I did that. Went to school. I had a job here and there. I drawed unemployment before I got out, or when I first got out, and I basically drew that until it ran out, and it wasn't much. But you got the max amount, which was like back then was like $320 a month or a week. Like it wasn't a lot, but I was living at home and I didn't have no bills for real except the car. But did that for 2 years. I graduated. Um, didn't really know what I was going to do with my degree because the only thing I knew how to do was like either helicopters or stuff with guns, you know. And this, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Well,
The
anyway,
dude who shit himself in
yeah,
the
to
aircraft.
backtrack a little bit, me and him went out one night and we met these girls before I got out. Well, he ended up actually getting in a relationship with the one girl. Well, her cousin she was married then, which I didn't sleep with her or nothing, but we all hung out. Well, I get out of the military. I'm actually applied for the border patrol, and I was coming back to Savannah to do their interviews. Well, the girl that was married at the time, she messaged me or started talking to me. She was telling me about when he went crazy, stole this girl's car, took all her credit cards, and went back up to Fort Campbell. And that's when he ended up. What was it? He got caught in the auto zone or something.
No, it was a roto rooter.
Yeah, and all that. Well,
Was he in was was he in the same crew of the dudes that got busted in the PX for
No.
shoplifting with the
For
carrying a 45?
stealing fucking perfume while you're carrying a gun on post.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he wasn't part of that. He had his own little thing going on. I won't get too much into his shit, but
yeah,
no, he had
was.
his own little thing.
He
was out of the
something
army
different.
at this point, right? He had gotten kicked out by now. Is that right, Moonface? You remember? Because if he went to Campbell,
I don't
he
know. I
wasn't.
don't now that because he was living with her. He was living
Yeah.
with this girl for a while in Atlanta, and that's when I guess he went psycho and went. He ended up back up at Fort Campbell. But yeah, I think he was already out. But anyway, that girl started messaging me, telling me that I needed to talk to him and all this stuff, and I was like, I don't even talk to that dude no more. Like, this was. I can't remember. I hadn't heard from this girl forever, and so we started talking. Well, anyway, we kind of hit it off again, and she ended up coming to see me in Mississippi. Well, here I'm thinking like, hey, this is a good chance to get out of here. So I ended up moving. I sold the truck. I sold the tires on my truck. I had this truck with these big old mud tires. I sold those tires so I could have money to move to Georgia. So I did that. Lived with her for a little while. We got married.
Who?
And it was that blonde-headed girl. Lee was her name. Yeah, it was her. Well, anyway,
Did we marry you guys?
Y'all
or
were
did you guys have
there.
somebody else? Yeah, I couldn't remember because there was a time when we were all marrying each other.
Well, you
can't
got to
remember if
explain
we-
that, like not marrying each other, like group love. Like you guys are ordained ministers, right?
Yeah, Trujillo
ordained
Trail
ministers.
was, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, Trujillo was, and he married me and my first wife in that hotel room, and then I became an ordained minister, and Katie became an ordained minister. I think Katie married Mike and Celeste, and then Mike ended up marrying me and Katie because he had to take the online course. Because I was like, dude, I need somebody to sign this piece of paper, and I got to go to Afghanistan tomorrow.
So get my money.
Well, she was, having a baby, and it was an on-purpose baby. And I figured if I'm going to Afghanistan and she's got a baby, if I fucking die, like, they need the money. And also I love her. So that's the main reason. But also if I was going to die, she needs to get paid. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's the story. We all married. Everybody has been married by their friend.
Yeah, y'all were there. Like, y'all were my witnesses.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I went from there, and then we got on we drove down to I think Orlando and got on or Fort Lauderdale and got on a cruise. But that didn't even last 2 years.
It was over pretty quick.
Oh, so you married that girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I could never seem to find a good job. I applied for all kind of police departments and stuff like that, and couldn't nobody hiring. And finally, I got a job at Safelite, and it wasn't bad, but it sucked.
Car windshield place.
Yeah. And
did you ever, in that period of time since you got out, what was your like mental state like? Were you, fuck it, I'm just gonna figure it out? Because you've always kind of just had like a pretty even keeled personality, like shit just kind of rolls off your back. But were you deep down inside like, fuck everything, fuck my life, what am I doing? I should probably kill myself. Or were you like, well, I'm just gonna
back then? Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I still have that a little bit, but like when I first got out, there was times where I was like, man, I want to go back in. I'm bored. I even called the recruiters to try to do that, but it was hard because remember before I got out, I got demoted, so my ERB and all that, or no, my DD 214, everything was good. Like my code was 1, whatever it had to be to get back in. But because of my time in service with my rank, you couldn't really do that because I was a PFC now, but I had like 6 years in.
Right.
So like at one point I was like, well, if I join the Guard, I can backdoor my way in, but I never did that. But no, I mean, I just kind of was just like, whatever, kind of like the marriage thing, but once that happened, that's when I really started like looking at things more seriously. I was like, like when she ended up, I think she was fucking a cop from the town because we become friends with this guy that had a girlfriend at the time. Yeah. Well, then he didn't have a girlfriend. And we helped him move in his house and everything. But when we split up, she ended up marrying that dude.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, I'm not stupid.
She definitely was then.
When we split up, I had Safelite. They transferred me to California. And that's when shit really like kicked in where I was like, shit. I had a truck and I was working there and it's just me. My cousin lived there, so I was staying with them. But
what part of California were you in?
I worked in Union City, but I was living in Tracy. So like,
where is that?
It's Union City's right outside of San Francisco.
Okay.
And Tracy, there's actually a prison there because that's what my cousin did. He worked at the prison, and I could not. Every one of my checks was horrible. I couldn't even pay rent. And I had to drive. I couldn't get another job because I had to drive 3 hours in traffic every day because when I got off and when I was headed there, it was rush hour. So it sucked. But I was there for about a month and a half, and I was like, you know what? Like this, I had to borrow money from my uncle just to get back. And I think I gave half of it to them for rent, because I hadn't been paying rent. And then I just took the rest to get back. And that's when I joined the DOC. They were hiring. And just lucky, when I came back, they started hiring in the town that I moved to, which is this one. And it just kind of took off from there. But I never really cared. As long as I had a little bit of money, I didn't really care what was going on. I was like, all I did was drink. I was like, the only thing that sucked was slowing down. Like when I got out, I guess that's where the drinking come from, but when we were in, we were always traveling, always going somewhere, always on go. When we come back from deployment or whatever, it was like, okay, we're going to bars, we're going to go do this, we're going somewhere, we're doing something. We're not just staying, stationary. So when I got out, not only was I not doing that, but I didn't have, the money to just go travel everywhere. So what I do, I was just going out and drinking every weekend, but I didn't really care about anything. I was 24 years old, living at home, not really looking back like you should have more right now, but I didn't care. But then once I got, went through the divorce, that's when it started hitting me like, I've got, consequences to what I'm doing, which I didn't do anything wrong when we were married. I didn't go out or nothing like that. But I guess I was a miserable person. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that I was that, miserable.
I think a lot of people get out and they have some version of what you described. I mean, you kind of lose your tribe, and it's like when you probably look back on your military service, you probably only remember like the awesome times, like,
oh yeah.
And then every now and again you think about like, you'll see something and it'll remind you of like a really shitty time in the Army, and you're like, yeah, that's why I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah. We had plenty of shitty times. The only thing was we was doing it together. And even in the shitty times, you find something to be happy about, whether it's, whatever, fucking with each other or what, but you were doing that with somebody. Now it's just me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
you become isolated. Yeah. That was the toughest part for me. It's just the isolation of leaving everybody. And you don't think about it because you kind of take it for granted. And or at least when I left, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm so burnt out. I just need to be anywhere but here. And then you get away from it, and it's just like, oh shit, I'm all alone.
Yeah. like when I got back, I guess I was really reckless, while I was out, and then getting married, I slowed down, but I didn't have any friends. I didn't do anything, I just watched football and went to work. If it wasn't football season, I wasn't really doing. I was doing stuff with her, which is good, but I had no outlets, had no hobbies, had nothing, and I didn't realize, that I was that, I guess far gone, but once I got to California, that's when I realized, like, I don't have anything going for me. And then I was talking to people back home, and another thing is, like, in between this, I had my little girl, and I'm in California, she's back here, and that was a big, issue. And my wife, she didn't like the fact that I had a little girl, so that was a big, big thing. But I came back and got all that straight. My cousin just happened to be like, hey, we started hiring now here at the prison. So I got that job, and things started picking up, but I still wasn't where I needed to be, mentally, financially and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I started having it going on. And I even think I used part of my GI Bill for my academy, which they paid for the academy, but I was able to use my GI Bill. So that was like, I don't know, $8,000-9,000 that I just got to pocket.
Yeah.
They got me a truck with it, got all that stuff going. In between all this, I was also trying to get VA disability, for PTSD. And I think I did it 2 or 3 times, and they said no. They said that, the first time I did it when I first got out, they didn't even give me let me talk to anybody. They just said that I had the symptoms, but they said that it was basically memories that I had, I guess, built up and just put in the back of my mind. They were starting to resurface. And
like, isn't that what it is? Like, almost by definition?
I mean, I don't know, but I was like, okay. I'm like, but where are they going to go? What's that going to make me do? It's like, I have dreams, whatever. Heck,
You had how many deployments while you were in?
I think I had 9.
Right. And so you got out with 9 deployments in 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, hey, I think I'm a little fucked up. I need some help. And the VA's like, nah, dude, you're fucking good.
Yeah. I mean,
Beat feet. Get out of here.
Like, they didn't even let me talk to nobody. Like, there was some chick in a room that it wasn't even a psychiatrist. It was just some chick on a computer that just told me what was going on. And of course, I'm just like, okay, y'all know what y'all talk about. Little did I know, they're there to, try to, not give you anything.
Yeah. That's the whole thing is like the way the VA, and I'm not speaking for the VA. This is just my experience with the VA is, they also look at time and service and go, well, there's no way this guy could have this because he was in for 6 years or 4 years or whatever. Which, people don't understand. Like in the 160th, when you're deployed, it's not like I did a conventional Army deployment for 15 months, and normally we would try to give people a day off every 7 days, like not on the flight schedule. I mean, you're still like deployed, but you have to be nowhere. Like you can just sleep all day if you want, or go do whatever you want. I was like, at the time I was still kind of a young pilot and I wanted to fly as much as possible. So because we were short, we had to have 2 guys that would have to go basically every 14 days straight. So me and this other guy, consequently, he went to the 160. We were in the same company in 4th Battalion. We both volunteered to be the 14-day guy, and like we flew our ass off. But my point is, in the 160th, when you're deployed, there are no days off. Every single day that you're there is you're doing something. There's no down. I mean, there is downtime. I mean, maybe you're waiting for a mission and everything's ready to go, so you can.
And it's seasonal too.
Yeah.
Well, depending on where you live,
in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
If you was with Unit 8, some of the stuff was scheduled, but with the other guys, it was like you just sat in a room for hours.
Yeah.
Don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't go in your room and sleep.
Your phone rings. You're like, let's go.
We would just watch a lot of movies and
tons of movies, lots of
video games.
Putting up stacks on people's computers. Watch Julio go crazy.
Yeah, that was the calorie den, right? 2008.
Yeah, had the what was it? We had was it an Xbox or something we found? It was in there. Some kind of game.
Was this when you guys were in Kandahar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is when we were before Unit 8 was stood up. So we were like just up by the boardwalk.
Okay.
Where the other guys are.
Yeah, that's where we lived, in the annex over there. Double, right behind the boardwalk, double stacked chews with like a.
Yeah, this is before we had the ROBs and all that.
Yeah, tents.
Well, you guys were like the tents were down there, and then when you guys moved to whatever that other camp, Brown.
Yep.
You guys had a lot better setup.
Yeah, dude. When we got, because it was tents prior to that, and then when we got there, it was all the B huts, and then so it was all those awesome little plywood buildings, and then eventually they built the RLBs, which basically just a small little connex.
And then gave us internet, and then and then social skills went out the window.
Yeah.
It's always a joke if everybody's outside talking. There's no internet.
Yeah, the internet goes down, when everybody's
Dude, when I was in Iraq with the regular Army, we didn't have internet, and so this was like in 2006, and we bought an internet satellite system. We put our money together, and it cost like $12,000.
Holy
and
shit!
We like put it on top of our like I lived in a tent the whole time in Iraq. I got there behind the main body, so me and this other guy, the guy that was we were eventually both went to 4th Battalion. We came behind the main body, and we got there, and they were like, "Oh, you guys can have that tent." And it was like literally just like those RFAB tents, like just a tent with like plywood floor and air conditioning.
Yep.
And so we went and stole a bunch of like lumber and 2x4s, and like we framed our house from the inside out and like put 3/4 inch plywood, insulated the shit out of it. Like it was pretty badass. And but like, yeah, dude, that whole time, shit, what was I even talking about?
Internet.
Oh yeah, so we all went in and bought this
Internet.
satellite dish. And it was like from some Italian company, and we had to like pay like I think it was like $5,000 to buy the dish, and then every month it was like $900 a month. So like we all had to share the bill, and I think we sold it to the unit that replaced us. Well, it was kind of like slow too. It wasn't super fast,
like the old dial-up, right?
Yeah, it would be like you could like back then there was no FaceTime. We had Yahoo Instant Messenger, and you could do video on Yahoo Instant Messenger, and it was like really like like it would you'd freeze.
You get still frames of somebody's face.
Yeah, and like and here's the other thing is like when I'm sure it was the same way in Afghanistan. Like when I was in the 160th in Balad, we had an MWR like building, like a trailer or something, and they had phones you could use for free to call home. But like the regular army didn't have that. You had to buy a phone card to call home.
Yeah.
And
we just used the sat phones.
Yeah.
They had a little room that you can go into. It had like 2 phones in it, and you just had to wait your turn.
Oh no, I never did that.
Yeah, we had that in Balad too. Yeah, we had one in our planning area. It was like just a nipper phone, and then there was an MWR phone that you could go with like the AFSOC guys would be in there, and like everybody on the compound would be in that one.
Right.
Yeah.
So
we would leave because inevitably when somebody would die, they would cut the internet and comms to our little camp, right?
Yeah.
And so, well, it was just kind of like, fuck, can't use internet for 3 days, blah, blah, blah. And so we ran this little thing. Some of us did anyways. Like I'd tuck $100 because it was $100 a month for your internet. I would tuck $100 in my wall locker, and I was like, hey boys, if I check out tonight and you guys lose the internet because of me, there's cash in there to make up the difference for when you don't have the internet. Just like, I'm sorry for ruining your day, dude. Like, I know you guys might miss me, but you definitely miss your internet a little bit more. So here's your cash as reparations for me blocking your internet.
I used to watch like we could get TV, and like in Iraq we could get certain TV channels because we had this like some type of weird antenna.
Like the AFN.
So you didn't have to watch AFN?
No, this was like in our choose. Like we could get like it was like some kind of weird local antenna. So we would get like German MTV. I don't know how, but maybe it was being played in Iraq, and then like a couple local like Arab channels. I think they were out of Dubai, but they were shown in Iraq, and they spoke all Arab, but all the movies were in English. And so like, I had no idea, some of the movies I recognized were American movies. Most of the movies were American, but the German MTV I used to just watch German MTV just because it's just weird. So
that's better than all we had was AFN, and it always played The Biggest Loser.
And OPSEC the Squeaker. Squeaker's the OPSEC mouse, right? That was the name of the OPSEC mouse.
Oh,
come on.
I don't remember that.
You just left me hanging.
I tell you what, the only like AFN, whatever, like it's cool, I guess. Yeah. But there was one commercial that was I've never seen it before. I've never seen it since. There was a commercial, and it was an Air Force recruiting commercial, which I thought was hilarious that they were showing it already on AFN. Like, who are you trying to recruit?
Like I'm already in.
Yeah, we're already in. For
anybody who doesn't know, AFN is called the Armed Forces Network, and it's like strictly a military broadcast thing. Yeah, when you're deployed, or like they show it on like German bases, like foreign bases. Right?
Any overseas base has like in Korea, it's AFN Korea. That's
crazy.
And they have like radio too, like Cool 98 AFM.
Yeah, AM radio.
But there was this Air Force commercial, and all it was like you watch the like ground crews getting the A-10 ready, and you never see anybody's face. It's just like they're like hanging the missiles and bombs on, and then they put the little ladder and the pilot gets in and he's like cranking, putting coordinates in and cranking the jet. And that's like the first like 6 seconds of the commercial. And then the next like 20, 2 seconds or whatever, 24 seconds is nothing but like and like just blowing stuff up, stuff exploding. I was like, where do I sign right now? I will sign up. That's the Air Force. It was like the one time they got it right,
Like, man. And then they were like, nope, that's too much. We need to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah. They were like, this is too violent.
War. We're not about that life.
Yeah. But I think like the Marine, like when you look at the military, like American military, like clearly the Marines have the best uniform and they have the best commercials.
Yep.
Like their recruiting is like next level. And then you see like the Army, and then sometimes the Army will hit like a home run, but like 9 out of 10 times have you seen the one that's like the cartoon drawing of the girl that wanted to join because her moms are both lesbians and she wanted to champion like fucking Subarus or something? Like,
I did see
I'm
that.
not really busting balls about lesbians.
Was you there when we did the commercial? We had to fly up to Fort Bragg and do the Army commercial.
No.
Was it like an Army of One commercial?
I don't know. I think it was the Army Strong.
Or Army Strong, yeah.
Army Strong.
Was Army Strong after Army of One?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I joined in the Army of One because it was after Be All You Can Be.
They had Godsmack as the recruit video.
Oh. Yeah.
But no, I think
there's
it was me,
Strong,
Jeremy,
there's
and
Army
some other ones. We flew up there to Fort Bragg and had to do all these things, like these flyovers, and there was a team guy, and he was talking to these not news people, but I guess the people that were like filming the commercial. Because every time we'd move, this dude would like get down and just start like paparazzi, just
Yeah.
So I walked over and I was just like,
damn, I feel cool.
I start posing, like, what's he gonna do? And they were trying to put all of these like just 80-second guys on our aircraft to do this, do that. And I remember at one point the team guy, he was getting mad, and he told the people, and he was like, look, he was like, these people that we're trying to put on this aircraft, he's like, in normal circumstances, they would never get to look at this aircraft. Like, they would never be on this, So it's like, we can't do the things that you're wanting us to do because they don't know how.
Right.
Like, we're not fast roping these guys. We can't do that.
Have you seen the Ranger Regiments recruiting commercials over the last couple of years?
No.
They're badass. They're
maybe I have.
They're badass. Like, I just showed my son one, and he was like, yeah,
dude,
where do I sign?
I want to do that.
To this day, I don't say I regret it, but I absolutely should have just stuck with my initial like selection of what I wanted to do when I joined the Army. I should have been a Ranger for like 4 years, learned to hate it and then moved on. But yeah, I should have done it.
Didn't you try to go to Ranger school and they said no because you come back broken?
No, they, so I was told when I got there that I would get to go, I think it was when I was Green Platoon, I was talking to somebody like, yeah, man, we get Ranger slots, so you can go. And so I was like, all right, cool. So I get down there and they're like, yeah, man, I was like, hey, I want to go to Ranger school. And they're like, well, no, like maybe sometime in the future. So I wasn't told like a hard no. It's kind of like, not right now. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, I want to go to Ranger school. So every so often I'd bring it up like, hey, send me to Ranger school, send me to Ranger school, send me to Ranger school. And they were like, no. And then no shit. I get a knock on, I get a phone call or whatever. Like, hey man, we have 2 Ranger slots. Are you still interested? And this is when I was in flight platoon. This is an Alpha company. And like, hey, you want to go to Ranger school? I was like, fuck yeah, I do. When? And they're like,
tomorrow,
August. I was like, well, August 2012 is when my daughter is going to be born. like, well, man, this is your chance. So you can go now or never go again. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like the only time I've been asking for almost 6 years
Classic
now.
Army.
Oh, this is a joke.
I was like, almost 6 years I've been asking to fucking go to this school. And the only time I can get it is when my kid's being born. I was like, no. Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, I went to when I was in the infantry, I had a ranger school slot, and in the 101st you have to go to pre-ranger first. And so you get issued extra uniforms because your shit's gonna get all jacked up. And I go out there for the first day of pre-ranger, and it's like they just smoke the shit out of us. And that's when I'd went to the what do they call the guy? Re-enlistment guy?
The retention NCO?
Retention NCO. That's what they're called. I go to that guy, and he's like, "Oh, if you get the Victor identifier, which is the airborne and ranger, you can never leave the infantry." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, you'll be locked into 11 series your whole career." And I was like, "Oh, I can never change MOSs?" And he was like, "No, he's like, you could go to OCS or be a warrant officer, but you can't switch in MOSs." And I knew I could not stay in the infantry.
Is that even true?
As a career?
No.
Yeah, it's true.
Is that true?
Yeah, if you're 11, well, this is back then, and this was in the 90s.
Yeah, okay.
If you're 11 series and you get a Victor identifier, if you're airborne and ranger, you are stuck in 11 series. Like you could go to special forces, you could go, you can go up and out, but you can't, you couldn't, I switched to be a 00 Bravo to be a diver. You can't laterally make a move, or back then you couldn't.
I was like, because hell wasn't Shootman? Wasn't he a ranger and a...
Well, I don't think he got the qualifier because he couldn't go to school because he broke his ankle on the jump on the dam in Haditha. So that when he came back, he couldn't go to the ranger school. So he's got the mustard stain on his jump wings. He's got the combat scroll, but he doesn't have the tab.
Oh, did he reclass to be a crew chief or something?
Yep.
Oh, weird. Was he was 11 series?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. God.
He jumped with I think
Third
the Gustav. He either jumped with the Gustav or he jumped with all the fucking rounds. He said he weighed 400 pounds going out of that airplane and then broke his ankle on the jump and then had to spend all that time clearing the dam with a fucked up ankle.
Limping.
Yeah. Go in section, for days on end, they'd go in, smoke a bunch of people, drag them out. Next day, they go into another section, smoke a bunch of people, drag them out. He said it was pretty ruthless. Yeah,
we had a guy in 4th Battalion with me. He was a pilot, but he was an NCO in 3rd Ranger Battalion at Haditha, and pretty. He's a big dude. Still friends to this day. Great guy. But his story of Haditha Dam was pretty crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, it's gnarly shit.
It's no Kajacki Wine Mixer, but
yeah. Kajacki Wine Mixer is 32 seconds long.
Yeah. So wait, were you guys on the same aircraft?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was up on left gun and I was back on the right ramp.
Okay.
So he was killing everybody while I was looking into an empty village.
I remember looking at him and he's throwing his hands up what
the fuck? I almost pulled my 240 off the mountain, turned around and pushed Ray out of the way and let me fucking get some of this shit.
Was Ray Vines on the left
240?
ramp?
Yeah. Left ramp.
Yeah, they and so for the people that don't know what we're talking about, we talked about it in the last episode, but can you just walk us through that fight again? Just start from wherever you want to start from, if you don't mind.
I can't remember how it actually started. I just remember us coming in. We were coming in, and I looked. I'm looking around, and usually I always had. By this time, I was putting I'd listen to music, on the ride there. I'd have a thing in one of my ears, and I'd usually pull them out before we went in. We'd be 10 minutes out or whatever. I'd be all right, cool, time to check in. We're coming in, and I think I tried to pull it out, but it got stuck. So I'm like, whatever, fuck it, So I'm coming in. I still hear some of it, but I can still hear everything going on. And I look up and I just see this like, muzzle flash or whatever, like just constant. It wasn't like a little flash and went away. It was like boom, 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 boom. So I was like, fuck it, and I'm already like agitated with my ears. So I turned the gun on and start shooting.
He didn't even say shit. He just
shit.
opened up, and I was like, oh, he must be pretty busy.
I was like, there it is, boom. I ain't got time to say, hey, left gun's hot. Left gun's engaged. Fuck that. You're dying.
Do you guys have an ICS switch on your gun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you guys does the DC gun have high rate and low rate?
No, it's just a single.
Okay.
Both of them was the same, either one.
Okay.
But I wasn't even thinking about, let me press this button here. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm zoned in. Got this good music playing. I'm fucking people up. Well, then, like I hear the pilot say something about.
Was it Freebird?
And then everybody on that side.
Probably Madonna.
Starts lighting these bitches up. Same spot. It's like, I think we had 3 chalks. So you got 6 guns just like at a, triangulating on this spot.
Where were you guys in the flight?
We used flight lead.
Okay.
So I think it was Zeus's one of his first rotation as flight lead, wasn't it?
I thought Blitchington was the flight lead. I don't remember.
It might have been. Yeah, Zeus was in the right seat. Yeah.
Yeah. Zeus was on the right side.
Yeah, I guess we put a hole in that thing, and then Zeus is having to get his gun outside his thing, and he's over here cussing because he's like, round just went in here, and he's like, I see a dude, and next thing you know, he's like, shooting at him because Pedro's like, I can't move my gun no more, and it's like, you got 2 other fucking guns, use them. But there's like a bullet, I guess, bouncing around the cockpit, and then we don't know any at this point. Nothing's really like went down, and when we take off, I guess that's when everything just shut down. And it was like, I got no, because we lifted off, and then all of a sudden, it was like we just started dropping, and then they I guess got the controls, but all the MFDs, everything that was digital is out. All they have is analog and flight controls. That's it. And then the other side starts shooting.
That was your side, right?
Yeah, man. Because like he said, we couldn't hit anything, and I'm looking out. There's a town out our side, and I was like, all right, well, I'm not just gonna start shooting because I'm gonna wait for somebody else to pop out. Maybe there's more. And with all the commotion up front, because Zeus landed and he had to transfer the controls. He's like, hey, take the controls, and so then Blitch took him, and that's when he shoved his little M4 out the window and started shooting. But yeah, we took off, and then I want to say, I did so fucking crazy. I think we did like a Wells maneuver coming over that creek bed where we just kind of tipped the guns towards the creek bed. And that's when Pedro and I just,
I want to say we started doing those a lot. We just constantly we didn't know where anybody was.
Yeah. You just tipped it down, and then we just fucking lit that whole spot up. I just remember watching like the minigun tracers just fucking skirting all this stuff. And I was like, dude, fucking finally. And so
he tells me to come inside, or Pedro does, and it's like, check for fire. So I'm like ripping stuff down, looking. Then I
think it was a tracer that was skipping around the cockpit.
Yeah.
That's why it looked like fire, because the cockpit was all lit up because the tracer was bouncing all over the fucking place.
Yeah, it was something. There was no fire, but Vine starts shooting again. So I'm like, fuck, let me go in here. I try to get out the window, my goggles fall. And I'm like, shit, By the time I get good to go and I look outside, it's over with, because we were just, taking off. But I think we just started doing a pattern, waiting on the rest of them because we didn't really know where we were going. But the guys, we let them off. I think when we was back at Kandahar after everything was done, them guys come and wanted to meet us or wanted to know who was, on the aircraft that night, because they were like, man, like you I guess saved us, because they said we put a hole in that building. They just walked on in there, and everybody was either dead or giving up or whatever. And they gave us a little
a flag
plaque or something.
Yeah.
But after we got shot up, we went to Bastion and shut down, and then all these British dudes kind of helped us out. And that incident actually when they pulled out of Afghanistan, what was it, couple years ago?
21?
Yeah, 21.
22? 21?
I actually I didn't lose my shit, but I felt some type of way because I was, they were talking all that stuff about, we're just leaving everybody that was there, just going to have all the other countries going to fend for themselves to get out and all this. We're backing out. And I was like, thinking of that time, I was like, these motherfuckers, these British dudes, they didn't know us. They showed up and just did everything for us because they knew we just had a hell of a time. They fixed our aircraft, fed us, gave us porn. I mean, they hooked us up.
Ray sniffed the porn out.
Yeah, it's like, and then we just kind of left. They were just like, hey, y'all can just figure it out. It's like, them guys, they helped us out a lot.
Yeah, that pull out of Afghanistan, obviously rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Fuck
and,
yeah,
did you know the video of the C-17 that's taxiing and all the people are running in front of it?
Yeah, and they're hanging on.
Yeah, that was like a 2nd Battalion rotator that I guess had a 47 back there, and the Air Force went to lower the ramp, and the Blackhawks were already there and the Little Birds were already there, and this is third-hand information. I was already retired when this happened, so but I guess they lowered the ramp and they were going to start to download, and then they got swarmed, and there was actually regimental guys on the ground already there going to help them download, and the Air Force put the ramp up and started taxiing. Was like, well, we're out of typical Air Force, we're out of here.
This looks dangerous. Bye.
Yeah, and if you look at it in the video, the guy, the little circular porthole midway down on the C-17 by the loadmaster can look at the engines it's under that fuel tank. Yeah, that little somebody shoved a cell phone in there, and that's when the guy was it's taken off, and the guy's still holding on to the wheel well, because you can see the wheel well from that window, and the guy was still out there. And I guess, I don't know if it's true or not, but I guess they said when the landing gear closed, it closed on his arm and cut his arm off, and he fell 2,000 feet and died. And then when they landed back at wherever they went, there was an arm inside
in there.
Yeah, in the when the gear stuck in there. So
that's fucking wild.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's true. That's a story I heard, but
it's the gospel.
Yeah, it's facts. So, what else is going on in the world of Warcraft here?
But yeah, they I think we was only there for a night, and then we was good to go, and then we was done.
Yeah, that was the first time I had black pudding, and I didn't know what it was.
Because we stayed in these little bunk beds, and they were like, "Yeah, we ain't got to shave or anything. We ain't got to shower."
Yeah, we don't, because we ain't got our shit. So we ate with the Brits in the morning, and it's what I assume is black pudding, as I put it together later. So what it is, it's I think it's oats.
It's like blood sausage or something.
So it's oats and sausage and some other stuff in this little disc that looks a lot like this size, and it's black from the blood. So they soak it all in blood, and it's like a blood sausage. And I remember eating it, and just other Brits around the chow hall were kind of looking at me what the fuck is he doing? Does he even know what he's eating? It was fucking good, man. I'm not dead. Last night was pretty fucking cool. Probably one of the coolest nights of my life. And then, I'll celebrate with the Brits, I guess.
Yeah, we made it.
Yeah.
That's another thing that, I dealt with too, after getting out was, when you're in, all that stuff is fun. And you're not really thinking of, I guess this is just when you get older, I guess, but you're not thinking of what could have happened. I think it was Hanson one time on aircraft, when we went out to Daly, we was checking it for holes. There was one right above left gun, where his head, it went right past his head. It was if you just would have leaned over or anything, you'd been dead. And it's you don't think about that stuff until you don't got shit to do, know, and you're fuck, so many times, me or somebody else could have it was it. It ain't like being on the ground where you're seeing it all. It's you don't even hear the bullets. You just like the next day, you're like, damn, that was close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The people are always talking about like the few times my aircraft's been shot up. Like I didn't know until like I could tell somebody was shooting at me. I could see the muzzle flashes and everything, but I never saw like, it's not like you see in the movies, like where daylight comes through the
Right.
sheet metal or whatever, and then afterwards you're like, oh, there's a couple bullet holes there,
Dude, and that's the fucked up thing about flying during the day. Flying at night is so much better because you can see all the people shooting at you, right?
Yeah.
Like you can see where all the fire is coming from. Like you can pick it out easy, no issues. But during the day, you're just flying along fat, dumb, and happy, and you can't even count how many times I've been
you're
shot
just
at
hoping
night,
that
let
no one
alone.
shoots at you then. Like, I can't see.
Exactly.
With all these bushes.
Yeah, no shit. We'd fly super low during the day.
What's are you doing that Zen? ZYN? What is that just like tobacco or is it?
No, it's a little pouch. And then I'd like to thank Keith for this. See this? It's nicotine, like a nicotine salt, I guess.
Like paper.
Yeah. And they just flavored little pouches of nicotine. You don't have to spit. You can just gut it all. And it kind
I
of
think transgenders like that stuff.
Definitely,
dude. I've actually been just helping them transition.
Do you dip, Moonface?
No. That's one thing I never picked up. Never smoked, never dipped. All I did, I picked up being alcoholic real quick, but
yeah, I never dipped.
Neither did I.
I tried it for like a week and I was like, there's too much work involved with this.
Yeah, it's gross.
My stepdad dipped. I mean, we used to have a spittoon that sat right by our couch, like that he would spit in, and my mom stepped in it once, and like that was it for that thing, and left the house. But it was gross.
I actually remember my first Jack and Coke, was when I was deployed. It was in Germany. This avionics guy, I can't remember who he was. He's an E6. The avionics guy had a mustache. Like he wasn't, either he got out or moved or something, but he wasn't in the regiment much long after that. But he was drinking one in a bar, and I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Jack and Coke." Or he's like, "It's America's cocktail." And I was like, well, "Can I try it?" After that, I was like, "Shoot, I'm a drunkard."
I think like the starter liquor, the starter drinks are like rum and Coke, Long Island iced teas.
Yep. Appletinis.
Yeah. No. Let's see what else.
That's my favorite drink to get somebody that you're like hanging out with, and be like, hey, you go to the bar and you're like, hey, get that guy an appletini, and say it's from somebody else at the bar, and like point to another dude.
Fear loves a good appletini.
He loves them. Fucking
who?
Yeah,
or one of our buddies.
Oh,
yeah, I used to buy them for everybody.
Have you ever had an old fashioned?
Yeah.
People are like, dude, you gotta try this old fashioned. It's the fucking god awful.
Well, what kind of old fashioned are you talking about? Are you talking like at a bar when they have like, they fill it with ice and they put like orange juice in your whiskey and then they put like a fucking red cherry on top?
No, I went to like this.
Old-fashioned.
I went to this place in Savannah called Alligator Soul.
Yeah.
Did you ever eat there?
Yeah.
It's a little fancy.
Savannah swanky.
Yeah. And the guy's like, might I suggest the old fashioned? And I was like, yeah, I've never had that before. Sounds good. And it tastes like pure tea shit. Like,
you don't like whiskey?
I do, but that just tasted like not like, I don't know.
So they fucked it up. Because it should still taste like whiskey, just maybe a little bit sweeter with like some bitters. It shouldn't be like wildly different than any whiskey you've ever had.
It tasted like if you took Jack Daniels and put hops in it.
Like, they fucked it up.
Like really
they were
hoppy,
trying to be fancy, and then
just like, that coriander or it was overwhelming with that kind of flavor.
Oh, they were just trying to be fancy then.
I was just like, just give me a Miller Lite, man.
Yeah,
like,
you have
this is fine.
Blanton's is a pretty good one.
What is it?
Blanton's. It's pretty good.
I'll drink it.
I don't even drink. We don't even drink it anymore. I got like a
used to
bunch of
drink a
beers
lot.
over my refrigerator that just sit there.
Ugh.
Homo.
Man. But
Oh man.
I don't drink as much as I used to.
well,
Yeah, I'm all-
where are you going to sit in Talladega for the race? Are you like where are you
We
at?
go for the whole weekend.
Oh, okay.
So we camp out like right across from the track. I don't know where we're gonna sit. I don't even have a ticket
Oh,
yet.
okay.
But we just mainly go for the, partying out there in the dirt. It's like a redneck Mardi Gras, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets crazy, but um, the race, shoot, I don't. There's been a couple times I don't even go to the race.
Well, you don't even if you go to a NASCAR race, you have to have ear protection. That's
Yes.
the fucking loudest shit I've ever like. It's ridiculously loud. And the second part is you've got to have like I think it'd be so much better at the race if you had the headsets that you could hear the driver and the crew chief talking to each other. That would be way better because like you're just watching like cars do left turns and it's like you don't know what's going on because they're moving so fast. It's so damn loud. I think it'd be better with the headsets if anybody's ever thinking about going to NASCAR.
Dude, that's how I feel. I love hockey and I love watching hockey and I love going to games, but I always feel when I'm at the game, I'm missing half the game because I'm used to the announcers just kind of like covering shit. And so if I look to say something to
Telling you
Katie,
everything that's going on.
yeah, man, I'm just kind of like, all right, what's going on? Like, all right, cool. And you kind of miss the excitement of if you get good announcers, you miss the excitement of having a good announcer just being like freaking the fuck out.
I went to a Buffalo Bills game with my father-in-law and I had no idea what was going on, or not Buffalo Bills, the Sabres. Actually, I think they were playing the Bruins, maybe.
And they probably got shit stomped by the Bruins.
No,
the
this was like in the early 2000s.
Yeah, when they were shit stomping them.
No, like the Sabres won the Stanley Cup and like
it was by accident.
But I don't know shit about hockey. But I did see my father-in-law eat like 70 wings before.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And I ate like 30 and he was like, that's all you're going to eat? And I was like, it's fucking 30. I just put down 30 wings.
Dude,
yeah,
you ever been to a Quaker Steak and Lube?
Yeah.
You ever been to a Quaker Steak and Lube? It's a wing spot, right? And they're up in Virginia. There was one in Newport News when I was up at BNOC. Every Wednesday they do all you can eat, right? They bring them out in like trays of 6 or whatever. And one time I put down like, I think it was like 65 or 66 wings. Dude.
That'd be like $300 today.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, wings are fucking out of control.
It's ridiculous.
So I used to every so often, because if you eat that much chicken, it stacks up in your stomach, right? And so, of course, when you're taking a shit, it's going to take forever. So this might be more than most people want to know. But I'd wait till I get close to the end. You know, if I got like 10 more wings in me, I'll get like one order of super hot wings. So that way, when I'm taking a shit and everything starts to burn, that I know I'm getting towards the end. I used to call them, those were my tracer wings. So I can tell. Like, all right, this is
burning.
Yeah, this is coming to an end. Like, oh, thank God.
Have you ever had Carolina Gold Wings?
Yeah, man, I love
That's
Carolina
the best.
Gold sauce.
Those are great. I never heard of that until I moved to Florida, and I'm from North Carolina. Like, I never heard of that shit. Yeah. But you know, it's funny though that Carolina Gold is like a mustard kind of, and that's South Carolina barbecue is mustard based.
Yep.
And it's only like in like what they call the Midlands, like Columbia area.
What's the Alabama white sauce?
It's like chicken sauce. Something put on chicken. I don't know.
Oh, I thought that was a joke.
No.
Like,
no, they have that's what
they call in the prisons, the Alabama white sauce.
Oh, you go to places and people get like barbecue or they'll get chicken. They're like, you want some white sauce? Or they'll ask them if they have it. I'm like, I don't eat that shit.
That's a loaded question.
The first time I went to a barbecue place in Alabama, they gave me like chopped pork, like not like pulled, you know.
Yeah.
It was like
cubey.
chunked.
Yeah.
Like some
And
mint
I was
stuff.
like, yeah, I was like, and I'm from North Carolina where it's like pulled pork vinegar based barbecue. And that's Eastern North Carolina. And I'm like a barbecue snob, man. Like Western North Carolina barbecue, bullshit.
All right, so rate them. You got we'll go Kansas City, Texas barbecue, Carolina barbecue. Apparently, Florida has somewhat of a barbecue scene.
Really?
Yeah, there's you ever had Florida barbecue. I was like, I've had barbecue in Florida, but I've never seen
Don't forget about
Yeah.
that Memphis barbecue.
Yeah, Memphis.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think me personally, North Carolina vinegar based barbecue is number one. Number two, depending on, I feel like Kansas City is probably two.
I like that sweet, sticky, like thick sauce.
Yeah, that's
ribs.
like Kansas City.
Yeah,
that's Kansas City style.
Texas is my least favorite.
I just
Texas,
like
I would say, is number three.
Sauce, you know. Just a little bit.
Yeah, Texas, man. I was in Fort Worth last summer, and we went to this some really famous barbecue place, and it was legit. And when I went to Dunker a couple years back, Jeremy Tomlin and I went to some barbecue place in Houston, and it was good. And we were both busting balls because we're both from Eastern North Carolina, and we were like, it's pretty good. It's not as good as North Carolina, but it was legit. I mean, it was pretty good. I'd probably say Texas. I think for ribs, I definitely think Kansas City is probably.
Yeah.
But when I say barbecue, I'm not talking ribs. I'm talking like
I look at the whole spectrum, like pulled pork, smoked sausages, ribs, half chickens.
What do they call that in Texas? This real big brisket.
Brisket,
yeah. They're like all about the brisket.
Yes.
Brisket's good.
Brisket's good, but it's
makes a brisket pizza.
Who
Pizza
does?
Hut, believe it or not, they got a barbecue brisket pizza.
probably
wait.
a good brisket.
You
Yes.
like pineapples on your pizza, don't you?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, I do too. I think
I'm a big
pineapple
fan.
and ham pizza's good, man.
I also put
That
ketchup
was like
on
my
hot dogs.
thing
Get
in
fucked,
B&Q
Chicago.
course.
Oh, wait, you said you put ketchup on hot dogs?
Fuck yeah, I do.
So does everybody.
No, if you go to Chicago, there's signs like
Listen,
"Don't even dare." I was like, "Fuck
There's
you."
two things like that nobody gives a fuck about. Number one is Chicago hot dogs. Number one is Chicago deep dish pizza. Get
Correct.
that shit out of here. Nobody gives a shit about that. That's only somebody that's from Chicago.
Yep.
Everybody else in the world, and I'm not from New York, but I'm telling you, New York pizza is better than Chicago deep dish bullshit. Now I'll eat it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's pizza.
Like it's pizza. I'll eat it. Number two is hot dogs. They put all that shit on a hot dog, like the like a whole pickle on the side,
and like a whole
inside.
pepperoni. Like
Yeah,
huge,
like what are you doing?
Not even a
can't eat
hot
three
dog.
quarters of
anymore.
this. No.
Yeah. I like my hot dogs with mustard, ketchup, mayonnaise, and
Ew.
relish. Green.
Yeah.
Really, there's this place at home called
Yeah,
Paul's Place.
mustard.
Relish is the shit.
Man, I think there's a place in Maine called Flo's Hot Dogs. It's off like was it US 1 runs all the way from fucking Key West all the way up to Maine, right? And so it's the best hot dogs on US 1.
Is it? Do they have like in New York they call them Red Hots?
Yeah, like the little pickle dogs that
They're-
you find in
they're-
a jar at the gas station.
No, they're like they're like the shitty
With like the red
like,
links.
the red link
Yeah.
ones you get, like the really
Yeah.
cheap ones you can see,
Yep.
and they cut them down the middle and they grill them.
Okay.
And I was like, meh. Like it's like personally, I like a good boiled hot dog. You know,
Yeah, Flo's will steam there. Well, they might boil them.
they
but
steam
I think
the buns, right?
Yeah, they steam
Yeah.
the buns and they have their own relish. Now that they jar it and you can buy it, and I
Yeah.
got an extra jar. I should give it to you because it's like proprietary, tasty fucking. It's the best relish you've ever had in your entire life.
I don't know. We
And
have
they
this place
serve it
called
in-
Paul's Place. It's good.
I don't care about what Paul Flow is where it's at.
Oh,
Let's do a hot dog tour.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, have you seen those when they slice a hot dog and put it under a microscope? How much shit is in there?
Oh God, I don't even want to.
Don't Google because you'll never eat a hot dog again.
I watched a
you'll never
video
want-
on how they make hot dogs, just like in the factory, and like all the pink paste and the grinding up of the chunks and like the fucking.
Yeah.
It is
Have you seen how they make lunch meat?
no.
Oh, you'll never like. I watched it the other day, and I'm like, fuck. I'm never. The only way I'm eating like sliced ham again is if I cook a ham and I slice it myself. There's zero chance I'm ever buying like Oscar Mayer
yeah.
or whatever that Hillshire
Boar's Head?
Farms
Yeah.
or somebody was like, Boar's Head doesn't do that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they all do. Like they put the pink paste and they bleach it all and they run it through chlorine and then they put it in these little loaves and then they cook it in the loaf so it comes out square and then they slice it like
Yuck.
so it's perfect for sandwich size.
The American food system's fucking garbage.
Yeah, it's hot garbage. So, all right. Well, I think we're coming to an end here.
I think so.
I actually have a not a job interview, but a call from overseas coming in.
Nice, something to turn down.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I like money though.
Who doesn't?
I love money.
Yeah. What do you got to work tomorrow?
Yeah, unfortunately.
What time do you have to get in there?
I show up at 6, which I can't complain too much. I've been off since, besides yesterday, about a week.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So do you go in at 6? What time do you typically get off?
It's 6 to 6.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a 12-hour shift.
I work tomorrow and then I'm off the weekend. So
yeah.
Kind of
my son-in-law was telling me he has it's a 12-hour shift, but he's been doing 15 hours because they're just short, so he's getting all this overtime. So
they say we're understaffed, but then they tell us we can't have overtime. So I'm like, well, luckily for me, with the CERT team, we get whatever we get. They can't take that away.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Everybody's like, you get overtime and I don't. I'm like, hey, go get in shape and try out. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Man the fuck up.
Do you guys have a gym that you can work out at? Or do they give you?
I have one that I work out at.
Oh, okay.
Luckily, I pay like $25 a month. But the girl that owns it, I work with her brother. He works with us. So she gives a discount to all law enforcement.
Oh,
so
okay.
It works out.
Nice, man.
That's one thing I say that I got away from it when I was married. But other than that, I try to stay somewhat active just because, that helps. It helps you physically and mentally.
Yeah, I always feel better after I work out. Like if I've had a rough day, I go work out and it's like a little reprieve. And I think it's because, like, at least for me, is like I'm so focused on just this one singular thing of like lifting heavy things that I'm running and stuff in the background, but I'm focusing on the task at hand. I don't know. I always feel better hitting the gym.
I would love to do it before I go to work, but I like sleep, and I'm like, I'm not getting up that early, go to the gym, and then just go straight to work.
We work out in the afternoon. I work out after work when I had a job after work and then before dinner. But now I just I pressure washed a lot of my shit at my house today. Clean my windows.
Fuck yeah. Good practice run.
Yeah. So
I'll be being productive
here soon.
I was timing how long it would take me to clean a window.
How long did it take?
Like the big sliders are like a minute to do.
Yeah.
But like little household windows, like I had to be on, like I have a 2-story house. So it was like on the roof and it's a pain in the dick. And like the screens are a pain in the ass. Like,
did you do it the way that guy showed us in the video?
Yeah, I tried to, and I ended up breaking one of the screens, so I got to redo.
Are you using like a squeegee and stuff, or you just spray?
Yeah, I got the whole setup, man. I got a whole professional squeegee and like a mop thing. Yeah, the little Z technique. Yeah, so, but then I realized it's hot. It's hot as shit. It's April in Florida, and it's still like you can feel the humidity starting to creep right now.
Yeah.
It's not miserable yet, but it's close. So
it's coming.
It's coming. we're like 2 weeks away from retarded Africa hot again.
I think it was like
And,
80. Today was one of the first days I've seen where it was in the 80s. It felt really
oh
good.
shit, we were like 90 yesterday. My truck said 91 when I picked my
my
son
truck
up
said
from
91
school.
too. I got in, I was like, fuck, here it comes.
Yeah. It was the humidity.
It's not as humid down there.
Yeah, the
though.
humidity wasn't
Hot.
bad. Yeah. Like the perfect time of year in Florida is like February and March. It's like
Yeah.
perfect weather.
Now I will say Key
probably
West
January,
is actually more humid than I thought, because when I would go in October, it's not that bad. But if you go
What
in
happens
July,
in October?
it's horrible.
Oh yeah, it's
What?
hot as shit.
I said, what happens in October?
Oh, we just go there and hang out,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a good time.
well,
And that's another
yeah.
thing that the reason I do that stuff, is kind of my outlet. Before I got out of the military, a guy that I went to school with, like elementary school with, I found out he lives in Atlanta. And so I ended up meeting, reconnecting with him. And we started hanging out. Went up there once with me, hang out. But when I got out of the military, me and him, we stayed connected, and we started going on trips. Once I got this job and got rolling, even while I was in the academy, we would go. We made it a thing where we'd go somewhere different every year, like just someplace we've never been.
Yeah.
Well, one year, I think it was before COVID, but we went to Key West, and this was in August. It happened to be like their mini lobster season. I don't know why they call it mini lobsters, because the lobsters are.
Yeah, mini season, yeah.
But
That's like July.
yeah, so we were there towards
Yep.
the tail end of that, and it was cool. They were like, "Hey, you should come back in October for like this fantasy fest or whatever. It's like a big festival they have." And that year we didn't go, but we kept talking about it. I think we ended up going to like Miami, San Francisco, a bunch of different other places. But I think it was when COVID just started hitting in 2019, or no, it's 2020. We went, and it was still going on, but it wasn't as busy. But it was fun. So we was like, we'll go back the following year. So we did that, and we just started going there every year, just because it was fun. But that was one of the things that kind of helped me, was having that connection and having like something that we're doing. And it was also, the way the time has always, I guess, overlapped. It's always been around the anniversary of the crash.
Sure.
So it's kind of like that. That had a little to do with it too. I wasn't home doing nothing, and thinking about some of that stuff. I'm actually out having a good time with good people. But that's kind of one of the things that helps me get through, is just kind of gets my traveling. It's a buddy, and another thing, the CERT team. I've had a couple of them guys go with us here recently, but we said last time, like the camaraderie that we always miss. That CERT team helps with that, because you almost you got the same kind of group of guys, same shit we used to do, talk shit, roast each other, everything. But something happens, we're like, we got you. And it's a lot of prior military guys that do corrections as well. But then when you get into something like that, team like that, you're getting like the best guys, guys that understand.
Yeah, it's like the camaraderie of.
And they understand the structure, because I'll tell you, in corrections, there's not a good structure, especially chain of command, stuff like that. But when you get into that team, there is. Like, I mean, it's almost like a pecking order versus a rank, because I'm a sergeant, but on the CERT team, I'm just a member, so somebody that outranks me might be above me, in that order. But those are two things that's really helped me, since getting this job, making it. Now I'm doing way better than I ever have.
Yeah. Good,
But
man. I'm fucking happy to hear that.
Dude, that's awesome.
but there was a time. I think it was me and my cousin, the one I lived with in California. We kind of fell off after I left because I just kind of like packed all my shit one day and left. I was like, dude, I can't do this. Well, we didn't talk for a while, and I think I'd been drinking one night. It's probably maybe a year later. Well, like I'm having a hard time, so there's this place and we'd always ride up to, like these old dirt roads we go to here in the South. Well, anyway, there was this big weather tower that we can drive to if you have a truck or something like that. But I went up there and I was just having a rough time, and I texted him. I was like, man, I apologized to him. I was like, I'm sorry for just leaving like that. But like I wasn't like I was bad off mentally, and I don't know why. I think I was just in one of them like down spells or whatever. Like I even had like my gun sitting on my leg. Like I was like, I even shot it. But I talked to him, and then I just went back home. But doing shortly after that, I got on the CERT team, and then I've told people I wouldn't even have this job still if it wasn't for them. Being on a team like that, because just having a good group like around you like that, it does more than what you think it would do when you don't have it.
Right.
And those two things are really big, like for me. I don't know how other people are, but having, connections like that and just being able to go and do things as a group like we used to do versus, me just figuring it out. Because I've had other friends, in between all this, but, it's nothing like that. Because even stuff that we're talking about, I can't talk about that stuff to just anybody because it's like you don't want to. And then when you get somebody that like they've done the same stuff you've done or something similar, you just open up like like anything.
Yeah,
You just open up like hell.
Yeah, it's easier. You can make comments and they kind of know what you mean or get what you're,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's important, to find that, tribe or connection or group of folks where you can. And sometimes it's hard, so yeah, I'm still, figuring it, well, because you get to a point where you just don't want to do anything, like you're just like, man, I just want to lay around and do nothing.
Yep.
But
it's good having those people that kind of put you in your place at times too, because that happens a lot. People be like, look, you're just being, because you got those friends that are just like, yeah, and then the one's like, dude, like, you're just being dumb. Like,
Yeah.
you're stupid.
Yeah. Sometimes coddling for that kind of shit, right? And I don't know if it's the civilian response where it's like, oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that. Or you poor thing. It's like, no. I get the soft-handed approach, but usually when it comes to me or my friends, it's like, dude, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out of your bed and go fucking do something. You know what I mean? There's always like the harsh approach tends to work better for people like us than like it's okay. You've experienced a lot. It's okay to lay there and be sad. Like, no, I mean, like sometimes I'm sure it is, right? But it's definitely a better form of like quit being a pussy, put your fucking shoes back on and get back outside.
Yeah. It's like that at work. You want to talk to people like that and you just can't, like when you're trying to get points across. I have a lieutenant. I mean, he was in the military. Even he says that he's like, man, he's like, you can't connect with these folks because it, like whether it's, they're doing something wrong or whatever, everybody's just kind of like, a pansy. But on search, we get smoked. If we mess up, it's like, okay, because we do formations and stuff, and we'll be like, front leaner ref.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. You can't do that, anywhere else.
Yeah.
Man. Well, dude, thanks for spending time with us tonight. That was, I thought it was really good. What's next on the horizon for you? You got anything? You got the Talladega coming up? Any other big plans? Or
Yeah, I mean, we haven't started talking about the Key West trip yet. Which my buddy, he's still trying to figure out what he's trying to do the rest of the year. Other than that, might take the kids on a little beach vacation. Just bought that side by side, a new one, 4-seater, so we're gonna start taking them riding. But other than that, shoot, I just like concerts and stuff. We get those all the time, but I just go if I find them on VetTix.
Oh yeah, somebody just told me about VetTix.
It's like a lot at one time.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you spending the time with us tonight. Tyler, you got anything?
Nah, man. I'm just happy that we get to talk twice this week, kind of face to face.
Yeah.
I can probably put some of the other conversation in this too.
Just make a schmishmortion out of it.
Yeah. I think what was causing your problems was that headset.
Yeah,
because
as soon as it ain't been nothing since then.
Well, It's Bluetooth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the problem because it's a Bluetooth headset, and it might be causing you to drop. I don't know how, but I think that was the issues.
Well, if it drops the mic and then it's fucking
just drops the whole thing.
Yeah, it's trying to find out.
Yeah.
So, but awesome, man. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out with us, and for everybody that's listening, please, what do we say? Subscribe.
Yeah, just fucking whack that like button. Give us a 5-star rating.
Yeah, like and subscribe. I don't even think you can subscribe. You can follow us.
Yeah,
right.
Following is a subscription of sorts.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, okay. So
drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, go over to Instagram, TikTok, but most importantly, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Check out the website aloneandunafraid.org. Is there anybody Roach, any websites or anything you want us to
LilRoach.com.
Yeah.
Is that,
I will say rest in peace to the Iceman. He died today.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I was watching
Val Kilmer
last night.
Yeah, he did.
When he died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's
I think I
terrible.
killed him.
Oh, dude. Well, R.I.P. Val. You can be my wingman anytime. So, all right, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you later.
All right. Appreciate it. Let me come on.
Later, boy.
Bye.
Bye.